For the next couple minutes, I want to talk about a preview that I saw that blew my mind, and not in a good way. It blew my mind in the sense that I thought to myself, what in the world? Why are they making this movie? What is the point of this? What is going on here? The movie is called Songbird, and I will attach the preview. And it's set, I think, 3 or 4 years in the future, and it's a dystopian near future in which the current situation regarding the so-called pandemic has worsened, and the lockdown has gotten more stringent and more draconian, and it's just sort of a like what were they thinking? Why would they think anyone would want to see this now? And that precisely is what makes me interested in the fact that this movie was made. So, first of all, I guess it's notable that Hollywood, I guess, is open for business again, because it had been closed down for a while. There were no new movies coming out for a while, but this one obviously is new because of its topicality, because of its being about the virus and the so-called pandemic and the lockdown, which, you know, I hear people talking about the lockdown, you know, having gone on for months and months. I guess it's different in different parts of the world, you know. Some people talk about, you know, well, I haven't left my house for months. I left my house. I mean, I haven't stopped leaving my house. I never stopped leaving my house. So I don't know if there's some intentional hyperbole there, or if it's just that some people's experience has been just that they've never left their houses since March. I honestly don't know what to say about that. In any case, I really do think that there is a campaign, not just of fear-mongering, but there is an active campaign of despair inducement, and there is an effort to grind into our heads that this is inevitable, that this is quote-unquote the new normal, and that it's beyond our control, and that it's only going to get worse, right? And this movie would seem to reinforce all of these ideas, all of these notions. Now, normally, I've said before in the past, I'm really, you know, I'm all over dystopian futures. I love me a dystopian novel or a dystopian movie. For some, I've questioned myself about why there's such an appeal to this particular subject matter for me and for many others. And I think that it's partly because it presents a situation in which heroism is called for, and I think there's an appeal to that. There's an appeal to the notion of being tested and standing up against clear injustice, clear tyranny. But this particular movie seems to cut so close to the bone that it seems weird in a couple ways. For one thing, if you're Hollywood and you're promoting the official line on the virus and the lockdown, and that we should all take it seriously, and that we should all be scared out of our wits, and, you know, we should not be in large gatherings of people ever, and you know, we should all get mass vaccinated whenever the vaccine comes out, etc. and so forth. This movie seems to you know, it's the same kind of thing when I heard people say that the Hunger Games was social engineering. I was initially, and for a long time, I was like, nah, that can't be true, because who wants to live in that kind of future, right? It seemed to me that it was making a case against tyranny. This is in my more naive days, before I really came to the realization that just about everything that gets put out on some large scale, by some high echelon, players or what have you, just about all of it is some form of social engineering or other. It all has to get approval from official sources, and any movie or TV show that features the FBI, for example, it has to have the official approval of the FBI. So it follows from that even something that we maybe would have thought would be kind of subversive, like the X-Files, no, it's got the official approval of the FBI, because the FBI is mentioned, and FBI gear is used, and the main characters are FBI. So even if Duchovny's character is some rogue figure who's supposedly going against the bigwigs at the FBI, still all of this has the official stamp of approval of the FBI, which kind of makes you wonder what's actually going on here. What kind of multi-layered, multifarious, multi-leveled propaganda is being aimed at our brains. Obviously something, even if we don't quite understand what it is. Now, this goes in spades for this movie Songbird, because it seems to be promoting, this anti-tyrannical message, because it's saying, the lockdowns are going to get worse and worse and worse. People are going to be prevented from seeing each other at all. But then it's also promoting the notion that the virus is real, and then it's going to get worse, and people are going to be dying in the streets over it, and so forth. So it does have that fear-mongering aspect to it, which I can see as being receiving the official stamp of approval. But it also, if you watch the trailer, which again I will give the link to below, it also sends forth this message of tyranny, getting worse and worse and worse, and this real 1984-ish, COVID 1984, as some have said. Some wags have used that term very adeptly. We really see it in this movie. People getting shot on sight if they leave their houses. Warnings being put out that are, by some voice over a loudspeaker. Some computerized voice saying, if you do not obey, you will be shot. These kinds of messages, which seem to be portraying the police state in a way that makes us dislike a police state. So I think the ultimate motive behind something like this, and it's all, if you look at the preview, the downvoting is significant. It's a lot of people really don't like this movie, and I think it will flop. I don't see people, eager to see a movie like this right now. Again, cutting too close to the bone. But for those who do see it, there's got to be some reason why it's being made. And I think it must just be to enhance fear-mongering, both about the notion of the virus, and also about also to induce despair, and also to induce the kind of notion that we are their playthings, they being the powers that shouldn't be, and they will do what they want with us, and we are helpless and hapless against them. So this movie really takes these ideas, these principles, these notions to the nth level, and Well, I don't know. Watch the trailer for yourself and tell me what you think. I just felt the need to comment on it because, you know, Hollywood is opening up again, and this is what they're giving us, right? You know, it seems like what they would want to give us would be something that would be escapist fare. But one of the first things that they make after they reopen is this, you know, which portrays a world where things are even worse than they are now, with all of the impositions of tyranny that have been pushed upon us over the last few months, over this year that's coming to a close soon. You know, but a year whose name will live in infamy. 2020 vision. Interesting. We're getting an extensive vision right now, aren't we? Things are becoming, objects are much closer than they appear, aren't they? Objects in the mirror are much closer than they appear as I look to my rearview mirror. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Let me know what you think. Check out my work at altrightnovelist.com.